One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent.
He would do a lot of foul shit, like behind the scenes. He would do some foul shit, like.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah. Puffy was playing with your booty in Miami.
Everything changed when Diddy watched 50 Cent enter the courtroom. His hands trembled beneath the table, his jaw tightened, and his eyes grew wide. The once unstoppable tycoon appeared in disbelief. Nobody anticipated this on the third day of the trial. Longtime competitor 50 Cent appeared in a blatant demonstration of support for Cassie. Although he didn't say anything, his presence conveyed a message. Diddy's entire demeanor changed, according to witnesses. He was always staring at 50. There was a noticeable tension. He had lost whatever confidence he had brought with him. This moment stood out in a case that was already full of surprises, not because of what was said, but rather because of who appeared and its significance.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said,
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 19th.
That's why he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? That's the kind of stuff. When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like, he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that flicky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
Scene Diddy Combs used image control to construct his empire for 30 years. Whether on the red carpet, in interviews, or in the midst of scandals, he never showed signs of perspiration to the public. A dozen people oversaw his public demeanor, from practiced responses to media drills, as part of his persistent efforts to keep the illusion going. Behind the scenes, however, former workers whispered a different tale, one of tantrums, shattered phones, and two Diddys, the cool boss and the volatile man. These tales were never remembered. So far, the fissures started to show in the days before the trial. He gave a fan a slap, clutched a podium as if it were supporting his weight. Little indicators, but very significant to a control-obsessed person. Day 3 then arrived. Reporters in the courtroom said Diddy was losing his mind. Under the defense table, his leg trembled. He repeatedly interrupted his own attorney. The judge had to threaten contempt after he finally blew up in the middle of his testimony. And just as it appeared that he would gather himself, 50 Cent entered through the open doors. His longtime adversary. A man who has resources, a past, and nothing to lose. Diddy went pale, according to witnesses. No longer an illusion. The mask broken.
And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he's gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the, but he won't you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names, just like with Jeffrey Epstein.
Tell him the story.
Tell him the story. So we talking about rumors, right?
Yeah.
And we, when you Google his name, there's a rumor that pops up that he was Diddy's boy toy.
Oh shit!
Right?
Wait, so this is
so Charlamagne said
it's not true. But I told after he brought up this stuff with you, I said, you know what 50 gonna say when he meets you?
Oh no, I don't know that was going on.
You know,
I can't wait to run into him again.
What you gonna say to him?
Puffy was playing with your booty in Miami.
You know what 50 gonna say to you when he sees? What? I heard Diddy touch the butt.
Yeah. Wait till I see him. Wait till I see him. I'm like, yo. Yeah.
What's happening with Puffy? I know you're not really tapped in, but what
the last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt. And he sounded me. Like he sounded me. I was like, yo, look. I could find other things to do for money.
For almost 20 years, 50 Cent and Diddy have been engaged in a fierce, personal, and highly visible rivalry. 50 has never held back when it comes to making fun of Diddy online or accusing him of concealing information concerning Biggie's murder. However, none anticipated his appearance. 50 Cent entered the courtroom on the third day of Diddy's trial wearing a dapper black suit and sunglasses. The room went cold. Diddy paused in the middle of his statement, according to witnesses, his face losing color. It wasn't merely a show. 50 informed reporters during the lunch break that he was personally paying Cassie's legal counsel. He declared, "This isn't about old beef. It has to do with right and wrong." Diddy lost it when he heard it inside, banging his fist so hard on the table that water spilt. As his lawyers rushed to calm him, security moved in. The prosecution then took the stand just as tensions were at their highest. They claimed to have fresh evidence, proof that Diddy had misrepresented facts while testifying. And everything altered with what came next.
He would do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit. Like hating on, like doing things with people I'd done business with that he done business with. He would say shit that I was like, he said that to you?
Right.
I was like, yes, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and niggas don't know what they like till they see somebody with it. So they want the girls after you're done with them and shit.
Yeah, leftovers.
Yeah.
You take your leftovers. A lot of niggas have more leftovers.
He was not offended by what I was offended by. This is
wow, they found Kendrick and Wifey.
That's obviously doing shopping. They got the same outfit.
Yeah, it's true.
In public.
Yeah, that's a nice shirt. That's a nice shirt. All right, so when he said the shopping line in real life, what did you say?
I said, let me get away from him. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, maybe I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you could give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm going to mess up the wedding. I always say to myself, like,
it was someone's wedding?
It was Chris Lighty's wedding. It was in Miami. Nori's there. Nori knows this because I looked at him like, yo.
Even before 50 Cent's unexpected courtroom appearance, anxiety was at an all-time high. Your Honor, we'd like to present evidence item 47B. The prosecution then revealed the shocking information. Since they hadn't noticed this throughout discovery, Diddy's legal team instantly objected. Then came a tense sidebar. The court admitted the evidence when he returned, stating that it was recently acquired video from Diddy's Miami residence that was taken in April 2018. On the screen, the video played. The images were incriminating, but there was no sound. Backing Cassie against a wall, Diddy grabs her shoulders, shakes her, and pushes her to the ground while shouting. There was a gasp in the courtroom. That's not what occurred. Diddy erupted, leaping to his feet and yelling. As his lawyer pulled him back down, his chair fell over. The fact that Diddy had just testified the day before saying, "I have never in any instance physically assaulted Ms. Ventura," was more significant than the video. Since it never happened, there is no video. His poise was broken when he was caught in a falsehood. As the judge denied a break, he whispered to himself, Mr. Combs needs to maintain his composure with his head in his hands. Hollywood elites were already talking before the end of the day. Text messages were sent. The allies fell silent. Not only was the empire crumbling, it was falling apart in real time.
Like all these years, you've been the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
They said you're a hater. They said you're crazy.
You do this, yeah. And now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting. There's all this shit that's coming.
50, you can't make jokes about it.
No.
The internet might come for you, bro.
All I'm saying
is, might come for you.
You see it now. All of these complaints. People were damn. They were and pillaged. This was what was going on, right? And what do I get for I went through years of a hater. You're a hater. You want this and that. I'm just watching. Like I look at things and go, when you see the new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay, I go, oh shoot, like. Then I think about it, I go, that had to be there. So when I was saying that he was missing, he just wasn't actively being out there because they was dealing with that.
Wait, do you think there's truth to the Jay thing? There's no way.
Know. Like, look, you know what's like if you say, I have this thing where I'm conflicted when it takes you 20 years to remember something happened to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I go also 10 years, 20 years later, it comes back. And it's like all of Puff's problems are coming from the ministers touching little boys.
What you mean?
The laws are the way they are because because
of the priests.
The priests touching little boys.
Oh.
Celebrities firmly supported Diddy. His well-known pals supported him in public, attended his events, and worked with him on music. Nobody wished to jeopardize their careers by criticizing him. However, after day 3, everything was different. The hush was broken by videos of an alleged incident and Diddy's actions in court. The fact that 50 Cent openly backed Cassie was the true tipping moment. This allowed others to choose a side. According to a source in the industry, suddenly, people felt safe supporting her without being the first to speak. The world of celebrities split within hours. Justin Bieber, Mary J. Blige, and Usher deleted Diddy's previous photographs and unfollowed him on social media. Celebrities started sharing oblique messages, "Have faith in women." Lizzo remarked, "Power does not equate to truth," The Weeknd wrote. "The truth always surfaces," Drake wrote. Without giving names, Cardi B made it apparent in her live speech that the business should stop shielding wrongdoers. Nowadays, many people disregard Diddy's calls. Despite demands, Rihanna, Beyoncé, and Jay-Z have apparently remained mute. Cassie's support is growing in the meantime. Celebrities like Lady Gaga have written supportive notes, and artists have contacted her legal team. Speaking up may have resulted in career termination just a week ago. As more celebrities start to distance themselves, Diddy's influence is obviously waning. A courtroom outburst that stunned everyone, including the judge, marked the apex of the trial's stress.
How much is this guy trying to get?
I don't know. Like, it's a simple suit situation, but it's like
20 mil. I can say it.
You still had the blackest face out.
Yes.
You still had to mimic his voice because he's like,
but his
damn.
voice wasn't even that different.
And a little deeper. I was like, almost like, no, that's you, young buck.
Yo,
almost felt like it was him. I almost knew who it was. You know what I mean? I was like, nah. You heard what he just said, right? He's like, yo, certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. Like they would look like he would say stuff, and it's like he wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway. Like, now you see so much shit that you go, wait. No, this was visible.
He was in the hallway. We saw the video.
Yeah,
we saw that video.
It comes out later. You're like, that's not the closet. That's the hallway. He didn't give a fuck. Like, you could tell that he was already.
Nah, New Yorkers know. Because when Fab, he was like, yo, Fab, we ain't party. Fab was like, nah, we partying tonight.
He's like, no, like, but he didn't party. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, they let that one go? Like, I had to say something about it later because I was like, oh, it was free.
The courtroom was crowded on the third day. Celebrities were strewn about, the rear was packed with media, and 50 Cent sat quietly and observed. Diddy had been exhibiting signs of restlessness throughout the morning, hopping his leg, nervously changing his tie, and whispering louder to his lawyers. Around 2:30 p.m., Cassie was called to testify. She recalled a 2019 occurrence while speaking effectively and maintaining eye contact with the jurors. After she attempted to break up with Diddy, she claimed that he threatened her career, saying, "He said he made me and could ruin me just as easily." Diddy started shaking his head before she was done. The judge saw the tension and even sent his lawyer a warning note despite his lawyer's best efforts to calm him. Cassie's account of being confined in a room at a party in 2018 after speaking with another executive was the tipping point. Diddy's face darkened with wrath as she spoke. "That's all lies," he said as he abruptly got to his feet. "You're aware of what you did." There was silence in the courtroom. Security moved swiftly to put themselves between Cassie and Diddy. "Control yourself, Mr. Combs," the judge said. "You will be held in contempt if you have another outburst." The judge denied Diddy's lawyer's request for a break. Everyone was astonished by the outburst. Despite his cool demeanor, Diddy had lost control in public. Following the event, jurors were observed taking copious notes. Despite this, Cassie maintained her composure and continued testifying with assurance, supported by influential allies such as 50 Cent. 50 Cent calmly nodded in response to Diddy's warnings, indicating that he was prepared for a brawl. Diddy's defense plan fell apart. his staff swiftly changed their portrayal of him from one of a composed businessman to one of a passionate yet misunderstood individual. They even submitted an urgent plea for a mistrial, accusing 50 Cent of fostering a biased atmosphere, but the judge denied it. 3 additional witnesses, including a former security guard and assistants who had direct knowledge of Diddy's actions, were asked to be called by Cassie's legal team. These witnesses came forward following Diddy's outburst in court. 50 Cent has stepped up his social media campaign in the meanwhile, sharing many messages regarding the case, including a widely shared image of court and surveillance footage with the statement, "Actions speak louder than lawyers." Additionally, he revealed a brand new documentary series that is anticipated to center on this subject. Throughout the trial, Cassie's confidence has clearly increased, but Diddy's actions in court have seriously hurt his case. Experts point out that his outburst has probably hampered his chances because jurors are swayed by, major brands have suspended agreements and shares in his media company have plunged. The balance of power has entirely changed. Once untouchable, Diddy is finally being held accountable in public. With unanticipated support, Cassie, who was formerly reluctant to speak up, gets stronger every day. This case has expanded beyond a single relationship as 50 Cent has promised additional disclosures. It challenges the music industry's long-standing silence, a change that is altering power and bringing to light long-hidden realities.